So, here we go.
Hello, hello, hello. You're listening to Midnight Movie Gang. It is currently 7:48 p.m. Night Movie Gang. It is much earlier than I thought it was. I thought it was like 9.
Dude, it's so late. It's so past my bedtime.
Past bedtime. We got early work. For those of you,
7 p.m.
my name is Elsie Hines. I'm here joined with my buddy Joseph, my buddy Rian. Say hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
And for those of you, if this is your first time listening to us, this could be. I feel like this could make sense. We're doing 2 movies of the same franchise. This is an easy homework for people. If they want to just like watch them, they can just watch them.
You've probably seen it.
Yeah. This is a podcast where we talk about kind of cult, horror, sci-fi genre cinema. It's been a while since we've recorded, period.
Yeah.
Just because last week's episode, or from us recording, I delayed an episode a week because I didn't want to release anything the day after the election.
Yeah.
I felt like I'd be an asshole. This is not a political podcast, but if you voted for Donald Trump, unfollow us.
Not to get political.
But
over half of America, go fuck yourselves.
Pretty much. Yeah. not gonna mince words about that. But we're not here to talk about that. Ironically, we might get into politics with some of the themes of these movies, but we'll get there. We talk about horror, sci-fi, kind of cult cinema. These movies definitely fall into a lot of those categories. This is a movie I feel like everyone's heard about. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I had never seen it.
But yeah, it's one of those ones where like a lot of people know what it is, or like I've heard about it or knew the name.
Yeah.
Because the name.
Well, I mean, I was thinking on the way over here, I think that's straight up just the best title any movie has ever had. Like it rolls off the tongue and it sticks in your head and it tells you exactly what the movie is.
For such a long title, it is just like so memorable.
It's just what it is. It's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Exactly.
You just watch that and then you go home.
Yeah. Exactly. We have on the projector here for ambiance. We have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game playing in the background. I can't see it. I'm turned away from the screen.
Yeah.
So as we usually start off with, we watched 1 and 2. I don't know how many movies. Let me get to the franchise page real quick. So we watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1 and 2. The next movie in the franchise is Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. So Leatherface, it seems as though they focus specifically.
Is that also Toby Hooper?
It is not.
No.
Okay.
Looking to glance at the rest of it.
I'm way more interested to watch like the remakes than that.
Yeah, than that next one.
So I'm just curious about the remakes. I've heard they're bad, but I'm still curious.
Yeah, it looks like there are 2. Yeah, no, this is so confusing. There's Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning, Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Return of the Chainsaw Massacre. There's one movie that's just called
The
Leatherface.
Return of the Chainsaw Massacre. That's a horrible name.
The son of the Return of the Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
The Fly too.
Yeah. Son of the Chainsaw.
Son of the Fly. But no. We're just talking about the first 2 days. The first 2 are the only ones directed by Toby Hooper. And as we usually start off with this, guys, I want to ask you, what's your history with this franchise? Rian, I know you'd seen both these movies before. I'd only seen one of them before. Rian, let's start with you. What's your history with this franchise?
Well, kind of like when you had me over for the Tetsuo Fly 2 episode. This is very much a horror movie rite of passage, you know. If you're into horror movies and you watch it, it's kind of like, okay, now you pretty much have been baptized and you're in for one hell of a ride, so to speak. And then you go from like the absolutely claustrophobic, naturalistic intensity of the first movie, and then part 2 is just goofy, absolutely over the top, maniacally, cartoonish.
A real whiplash.
The other end of the spectrum.
Right, the extreme end of the spectrum.
Yeah. I just want to say I'm watching this gameplay, and apparently one of the gameplay things is keep still to avoid waking Grandpa.
That's fun. Who there? Grandpa's like the warning, sees the alarm system.
I had never seen either of these movies, but I had played Resident Evil 7, which is pretty much the same thing. I knew of it. I've only just recently started watching horror movies as part of this podcast. Mostly, I think has like
Introduced you
got
to a
me
lot,
interested in horror. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Having watched both of these, I don't know if you want me to like give my like broad opinion yet.
Not yet. Just
Okay,
like what?
But it is crazy the whiplash that you get going one to the other because it is like.
I guess I want to know what did you expect?
You said that there was a tonal shift. I wasn't expecting this much of a tonal shift. It's crazy. Like it's like it feels like two different directors. It feels like two different complete takes on this kind of story. And it does feel like one's made in the 70s, one's made in the 80s. Yeah. I think we were saying like these movies are just about the state of the economy at the time.
Yeah, no, they absolutely are.
Yeah.
Talking about my history with them. Yeah, like I said, so I thought I had seen the whole of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 after this viewing that we just watched 2 tonight and watched the first one a few nights ago here. I thought I saw the whole second movie in college.
You hadn't seen the wacky opening scene.
I hadn't seen the wacky opening scene. No, like for me, the movie, pretty much the first thing I remember from when I saw it in college was Chop Top showing up at the radio station.
Okay,
like that's kind of the first scene I
with
remember.
The Sonny Bono wig.
Yeah, with the Sonny Bono wig. And I had no idea what was going on. It was I was at a party at my friend's house and we had it on, and I was just kind of like I was stoned out of my fucking mind.
Yeah.
And I remember enjoying it though because like how
yeah.
do I put it? In general, I'm a fan of like goofier, over the top stuff.
That's true.
Here's what I think it is. Thinking about, and we just like watched 2 is that I don't like things that take themselves too seriously. I don't like it when something takes itself too seriously without warranting it. Really, like the first movie.
See, I love that.
Well,
I love when you fully commit to a concept, no matter how goofy it is, and you just dig into like, no, like take this seriously.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of the times for me, it just comes out as boring.
Okay.
But the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre was not boring. Like its atmosphere and like the drive and like everything that it was saying, like for me it delivered. We're gonna get into.
Well, that's the thing is like I think you're more easily bored by that kind of tone. For me, it's like that's usually carried by like the quality of like the writing and the directing.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it, like I also. I think I give movies like a lot of patience and credit in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just really want that experience, so I go looking for it.
Yeah, I mean it just depends. Like I think actually I've said this with horror. Like horror for me either needs to be really, really like actually good and actually subversive and actually, or it needs to be campy and goofy. Like
yeah,
like and this is not a horror example. It's like I said. Like I prefer the '80s Dune just because I find the new Dune movies boring.
Okay.
Like it's that kind of dynamic. But with this, how do I put it? I guess we'll get into it more a bit later. Let's talk specifically about the first film right now.
Oh yeah.
We're not going to go through the whole. I feel like we should just kind of go through the.
I mean, you can sum up the plot of this movie in like 2 sentences.
Pretty much, yeah.
In 1 sentence. Like think of a slasher movie. This is that minus all the bullshit. It's literally like it's summed up in the title. What am I saying? It's literally just a massacre.
There's an opening crawl that tells you exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But no, after the opening crawl, this movie opens up with what is it? It opens up with a shot of like a scarecrow, right? Like a skeleton scarecrow.
Yeah.
The first movie.
Right, it's like the remains.
It's like a rotting corpse.
Right,
yeah.
it's a desecrated grave,
Mm-hmm, desecrated grave.
In the hot Texas sun.
And the radio's playing, and the radio is just talking about all the awful things.
Just describing horrible, like, crime scenes. Like that, I think, wasn't it like, I don't know where I heard this, but isn't it like he was, like, even, like, title and, like, the opening crawl, it's, like, inspired by just, like a newspaper reporting on a crime. Like
right,
it's just
series
it's so matter of fact.
Right.
Yeah. It's just like it's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's like this is what you want, right? Here's the gory details. That's what this movie is.
A lot of people have definitely described the first movie here having having almost a documentary feel.
It's very matter of fact and like naturalistic.
Yeah, like it's not really. It's there. I don't want to say there's no style. There's a bunch of style, but yeah, there isn't. It's like what you were saying when we were watching this one. Like the first one doesn't necessarily feel like it has all the movie-ish elements that we're familiar with, especially in this genre.
It's not like constantly scared of losing your attention.
Exactly. As we were watching the first movie, I thought a lot about how I had heard Ridley Scott say that Texas Chainsaw Massacre was a huge inspiration on him for Alien, and after watching it, that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Because the first Alien has like all of that naturalism and all
Imagine an alien, but it's a redneck.
that. Pretty much rednecks in space, cannibal aliens. But yeah, no. Then we're quickly introduced to let's see. Wikipedia says 5 teenagers. All of these people are in their mid to late 20s.
They're 70s teenagers, though. Like, look at a picture of a teenager from the 70s. They look like they're 35.
That's true. But yeah, we got a group of goofy teens. One of them's in a wheelchair, Franklin, and they're driving in a van, taking a road trip to check on the graves of their grandparents because of all the reports of the
of the horrible shit that's been happening to corpses
of grave robbers. And I want to ask y'all, how do we feel about the characters in this first film? Like, or do any of them stand out to you? Like, what do you think we know too little, too much?
They feel like real people, which I think is the highest praise I can give. Like, they're not super interesting, but I also don't need to know very much about them because I know what's going to happen. That's my problem with a lot of slasher movies. Is just like,
same.
I'm watching and I'm like, I'm just trying to pick out like, okay, you're the final girl, and it's like I'm just gonna now wait for like the actual.
I think that what it is for me, like you just pointed out, Joseph, is that they feel like real people, and they're back and forth conversations, how they're dealing with like, okay, we're trying to see whether or not our grandparents' graves have been defiled. Nope. Oh, we're running out of gas. We need to stop somewhere.
Yeah.
There's a sense of, again, that naturalism, whereas with most slashers, it's just like, these aren't characters. These are props. These are just...
Let's set our pieces on the board.
Exactly.
Everyone, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think it's kind of interesting that in this movie with these characters, even though you don't necessarily learn a lot about them as people, like you don't learn about, beyond the fact that like 2 of the characters are related and they're going to their grandparents, like you don't know why the friends came along, or like you don't know.
You just want to go on the road trip too. Yeah,
exactly. It's just like they kind of just set you in that these people already know each other and they're not going to do any movie things to get to know you. And not to tie it back into Alien, but that is something that I also really like about, or something that like has been pointing out to me about Alien, is that the characters in Alien, you don't really learn about their backstories necessarily. Like you just kind of see them interact. And you
don't need to.
And like because of the characterization, because of the actors living in the characters, you put together their roles and like how things are going. And it's kind of like a similar dynamic here.
You just feel like real people
implied,
that you met.
Exactly. And no, it's definitely something that's really cool. And I feel like how do I put it? If I had seen this movie like younger, like if I had tried to watch this movie in high school, I probably would have thought like, man, these characters are boring because like the movie.
Where's the Marvel quips?
Exactly. Where are they? When are they going to tell me about their whole backstory about like?
No, they just feel like people that you've met.
Exactly. You're just like on the road trip with them.
They're like not like especially clever or funny or like smart. They're just people.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that probably just gets the most close things. Gets the most characterization as far as like, at least having a trait that becomes a factor later in the story is Franklin. Just the fact of him being in a wheelchair.
Yeah, and he's kind of annoying to everybody else.
Yeah. Like he the way he talks about, there's a scene where he's talking about like how they how they slaughter cows.
Yeah.
And make
sledgehammers.
Right.
Yeah.
And everyone's just like, Franklin, shut up.
Yeah, stop. It's gross. Yeah.
And the girl's like, I'm a vegetarian.
He's just like kind of an edgelord, just kind of trying to gross everybody out.
Yeah. But no, so the first kind of major scene where we run into one of the family is they pick up a hitchhiker.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the first like scene of or actually, is that before or after they run into the drunk guy?
No, the drunk guy is when they go to the family plot,
Yeah.
and he's just mumbling.
He's wasted, sitting in a tire.
Right, making these cryptic statements.
Just living in a suppressed community.
Right, and Franklin's kind of spooked out, but again...
Just this, like, poor little pocket of America.
Yeah, there's just no money going through.
For me, like, that's the main source of fear for this whole concept, is just, like, you can just end up in, like, the wrong part of town, or not even town, just the wrong part of the country, and, like, just find, like, it's that, like, Ed Gein, like, this is just, this could have easily just be going on, and just no one knows about it. Just, like, this weird, creepy little thing happening that doesn't get reported on because this country's so big. And like a little hut like that, no one's going to check on it.
Yeah, I was thinking a lot about our trip to Mississippi.
Yeah,
watching the first movie.
Yeah, that's like, what I'm scared of, like getting lost in the woods, and this is one of the reasons, because people are scary, man. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors.
Because this shit happens.
Yeah, it happened. That's what it's based on. Ed Gein.
Yeah. So in this first scene with the hitchhiker, basically he
you can tell it's the 70s because they see a hitchhiker on the side of the road and they're like, we should pick that guy up.
We can trust him.
Yeah. Should let that guy in the van with us.
Yeah. And he proceeds to cut himself with a pocket knife.
Yeah. After just saying like some generally creepy stuff.
Just all sorts of creepy.
And just being off-putting and also talking about slaughtering cows.
Yeah, no, just like really just being a creep. And at this point when he starts to cut himself, I'm like, that's when you should have kicked him out of the car.
Yeah.
At that point. But
he takes the guy he takes Franklin's knife and cuts himself.
Yeah. This is kind of
good knife.
Yeah, yeah.
The first part of the movie here, I really liked the kind of gang's reaction to that, because it felt way more realistic than like just thinking about the logistics of like kicking somebody out of the car is like they're kind of more like, hey man, put down the knife.
That's the scary. Yeah, that's what's scary about picking up a hitchhiker, is like you're now like in here with this person.
Yeah. Until
like the van comes to a stop, and then it's like, how do you even get him to get out? If he's got a knife, he's gonna cut you.
Yeah, it's more confusing than anything.
It kind of is like you're on a spaceship. You're completely isolated in this little bubble.
Not only that, it's something that the first movie definitely has in spades, and that sense of physical or metaphorical claustrophobia.
Yeah. This guy is like, what is this guy gonna do? He's so close to me. Like, yeah, you're just trapped.
Everything's just kind of awkwardly like in your face, and you're just kind of like, oh man, this isn't good.
Yep, that's what being in the South is like.
Pretty much.
It's hot, and then you're just,
Yeah, you really do get a good sense of just like how hot it is in this movie. Like,
it's broad daylight the whole time.
Yeah, pretty much. A lot of the scariest scenes in this movie are the scenes that just happen in broad daylight versus like the ones in the dark. Really.
Yeah.
Just because it's part of the fear is definitely like how far away you are from civilization.
Yeah. No, you're complete like.
Being out in the open doesn't help you.
Running out of gas, like that's what's scary, is like you're out of gas and you just ended up in the wrong part of the country.
Yeah, looking at the Wikipedia page here, we don't have to go through this like scene by scene. I guess we can just talk about something interesting I wanted to bring up as they get to the house. It's kind of destroyed, all fucked up. And then two of the characters kind of go off to look for a swimming hole.
Yeah.
The swimming hole's grown over, and they find a house that looks like people live in it.
Yeah. And they decide to go inside.
Well, initially the whole point is like, hey, they've got a generator. They must have gas. Hey, let's barter whatever we have.
Yeah. It's another thing where it's like I really enjoyed just the little detail, like the decision of this to make it feel more naturalistic. Like when the two characters are walking up to the house, we're getting this conversation of them arguing about whether or not they should go, because the guy is like, hey, yeah, no, maybe they'll have gas we can trade for, whatever, I can give them my this, and she's like, no, I don't think they'll want, and we're learning about this. I feel like in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, or like in like a more of a movie, there would just be a quick line of dialogue. It's like, maybe they have gas, and then it would just cut to them getting to the house.
Yeah.
Versus like you see the house, and then you see them them walking to it, and you pick it up from the conversation versus like the movie just telling you.
And the title of the movie, so that tension is just like building. and it's like it's like a slow burn almost like it. But I mean, not to say this movie isn't breezy as hell.
It's short and it's quick.
This movie is the most cut down horror movie I've ever seen. Like it literally, I think that's part of why I like it so much. It's just like it knows. It's like our intention here is to deliver fear, and that's what we're gonna do. We don't need like all these other emotions. We can just have it be scary from the
it's
beginning.
not like something that I don't like about a lot of contemporary horror movies, where it's like, oh, there's like an empowerment message.
Yeah, there's a heart to it.
Yeah.
So I don't need heart. Yeah,
like, no.
just be scary.
I want trauma.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
Want to be rattled to my very core. I want to not have good sleep tonight. You know?
Just be a scary movie. That's what I want.
Exactly. What you were saying about what were you saying?
It's breezy.
Yeah.
The tension builds.
The slow burn thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, my brain is farting me. I had too many drinks. But what you're saying about the movie being slow, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a slow burn as far as like I think that
no.
this movie and movies like it, like Alien, for example, it simply is like it's letting you live in the moments. As far as like even though they might have like a lot of cuts in a scene, we're seeing a lot of like the continuous like time, like we're seeing the whole.
Well, I mean, because honestly, like running out of gas in this location is already just a scary situation to be in.
Yeah,
I mean, like we were talking when we were watching, like, man, shit was so much more scary back then, and people were all just so much less scared than they are now. So like from now, like everyone like knowing so much more about the world, I think everyone does. It's just like more like this situation is like terrifying as is. Yeah. As not so much to 70s people, but to us it's like, oh my God, like, and we don't have cell phones or like we don't have any way to contact. We're just stranded here. These people are probably killers.
Yeah. The movie really aged well in that regard.
Yeah,
I feel
absolutely.
Like it's universally like translate. Actually, I feel like if you just showed this to a random Zoomer, like they wouldn't be able to pinpoint exactly when it is. Maybe off of the clothes, but that's
everyone's dressed very 70s.
Yeah, that's like the only thing.
They're driving a 70s ass van.
Yeah, they go up to the house. I forget the character's name. So the girl, there's like a bench swing out front. She sits on that.
Yeah.
And then the dude decides to go in. There's a pretty great shot. I love the shot of just him opening the door, and it's just darkness in this house. Like he's just entering hell, just like a simple frame within a frame deal.
Yeah.
And I mean, just pretty blunt. There isn't even really like a stinger. It's not much of a build. Like he walks into the house. And then
dude pops out with a sledgehammer.
Yeah,
hits him in the head.
Leatherface pops out, hits him.
Just slams this sliding door shut.
Yeah.
I fucking love it.
No, it's just real.
He's drawn in by like the trophy room, right? Like this.
No, that's his girlfriend.
Okay.
Yeah.
At first, he's just like, "Hello, is anybody home?"
Yeah.
And then,
bam!
He goes to investigate. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
He gets whacked, and then like his body just like they're shaking.
Yeah, his face like his body like judders and seizes.
No, it's really fucked up and very much not like in.
It feels like you watched a crime.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Just really realistic, not movie-ish at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and when Leatherface slams that door shut, like it's just
I love that slam.
You're past the point.
So something so like just fucking like. About it.
Right. No,
like
that's why I was saying earlier that the first movie is a textbook example of Hitchcockian dread.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
it's not about what you see; it's what you don't see.
Yeah,
it makes it even worse.
You'd read the title of this movie and you'd think you see everything, but you really don't. It's mostly implied. Yeah. And I'm sure like part of that's like to save money, but also
right. But nonetheless,
you know,
that's what makes it more effective.
Yeah. The best CGI, the best practical effects in the world isn't going to beat what your brain is going to be able to make.
Absolutely.
And you know what's funny? Thinking about that whole Hitchcock thing, I feel like a lot of the core of what is so powerful about kind of a lot of the horror in this movie, or like this section, because I would love this section where the characters are kind of learning about what's going on and they're really confused. I love the fact that we as the audience know way more than what the characters know.
Yeah.
And that's where the fear comes, because I think it's like
They don't know the title of the movie that they're
Right.
in. Yeah.
Exactly.
They don't
You
know they're in a movie.
It's like the Hitchcock scene of like, if you as a character, like you as the audience know,
Yeah.
like there's two characters eating dinner and there's a bomb under the table,
Yeah.
but the characters don't know.
No.
You're
Yeah.
just waiting for like, oh my God.
A good chunk of this movie is just like someone leaves and then they just don't come back, and then someone goes after them and then they just don't come
They
back.
also don't come
Yeah. And it's like, if you don't have cell phones, like, what do you like? That situation is fucking scary.
You're just super fucked.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's so like you said, yeah, she enters the house. There's the low shot of her with the red shorts,
The ass shot.
the ass shot, which is an iconic shot from this movie. Like
Yeah.
it's, it's like
I'm mad at it.
I called it the Michael Bay shot because
Yeah.
literally that exact same shot is in Transformers 3: Dark of the Moon.
Yeah.
Where they're following Sam's girlfriend going up the stair. Like, it's the same shot, same angle, everything.
I didn't realize there was so much artistic merit
Yeah.
to that.
Michael Bay saw this and was like, oh,
He totally didn't just see ass and say, "Get me a shot of that,
That's
BP."
just give me the ass
I want
shot.
to
You
see
got
how.
it, boss.
She investigates the house, finds the trophy room, which, like, Rian, you said that it was a scene that stuck in your mind the first time you saw it.
Oh, it still does this day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The trophy room scene's crazy. Then she gets caught by Leatherface. He puts her on a fucking meat hook.
Yeah, he lifts her up and just hangs her on a hook. You don't
Yeah.
see the puncture, but you see her hang, and that's enough.
You see her hang, and then you also see a lot of it comes from the actors really sell the performances. Like,
Yeah, it looks really painful.
she's acting like she's been put on a meat hook.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see. At this point,
Yeah, no one really has any, like, none of these protagonists really have, like, a noble moment where they, like, rise to the occasion. They literally just have bad shit happen to them.
Even
Like-
the final girl at the end of this movie, she
just gets, she
just survives.
She does what anybody would do and just runs away.
And she's mentally and emotionally broken by
Yes.
the ordeal.
As are the audience.
Yeah.
Right. She doesn't say a clever quip or one-liner.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I think this movie, more than any other movie, has made me want to rewatch it. I've been thinking about End of Violent Nature a lot. Can I just need to do a small rant to the audience
Do
out
it.
here about.
Go right ahead.
I'll not interrupt.
So, like, y'all know me. I'm a physical media head. People out there, I like the Blu-rays and the DVDs and all that. I pre-ordered the End of Violent Nature Blu-ray on Amazon. It's supposed to come out like October 22nd, I believe, and I was supposed to get it. But Amazon just still says, like, on the thing, like, we will let you know when to like, we're out of stock. And it's been a month.
It's November 12th. Yeah.
And I see the DVD I go to Walmart and Barnes & Noble. I see the DVD of End of Violent Nature on, but I don't want the DVD.
Thanks,
I
Bezos.
want the Blu-ray. It's a pretty movie. I want that definition.
It is a pretty movie. There is a shot in this movie that
that
you
is, like,
pointed out. It looks like this
exactly
must
like-
have been on the fucking
the dream board.
on the board for the aesthetic of In a Violent Nature. It looks exactly the same. Like the sort of like really blown out like starry look to like the lights coming through the trees. The colors look exactly the same.
Yeah.
That must have been like that shot was talked about in the making of that
100%.
movie.
That was like one of the
Yeah.
YouTube clips they wrote. Rihanna, have you seen End of Violent Nature?
Not yet, but from what I understand, pretty much people have told me, like, please see it.
You probably like
I think
it.
you dig it. You
Yeah.
definitely have. We people at home, go listen to our
We
review.
got a whole theater to ourselves when we watched it.
We did. We had a private screen because we went to like a
we went 11 a.m. or some shit.
like a we went to like a 10 a.m. matinee on like a Tuesday.
Well,
We were by
Shit
ourselves.
ruled.
Yeah, that was the best.
Yeah,
That was-
shit ruled.
Yeah, that was sick. But anyway, yeah. Back to I might want to maybe not do a whole episode, but I might want to like revisit it because I don't actually. This is kind of important. I've been on this big string of slashers. Like I've been slowly making my way through the Friday the 13th movies, the Halloween movies, and kind of like just getting more into these kind of like because growing up. What's that?
So I
Something
just
on the
saw.
screen?
Yeah, it said Grandpa Level 3, and that just made me laugh.
building up your geriatrics.
Like, as far as slashers go, the only slasher I really grew up with and knowing and like loving was Scream.
Yeah,
Like I think I tried to watch Halloween, the first Halloween when I was in high school, and I was just bored by it.
honestly, yeah, and I'm coming at all these just completely fresh. I never watched a single slasher movie growing up. Yeah.
And it's like I'd seen before we saw End of Violent Nature, I had seen the first of a lot of the classics, like the first Halloween versus that, and But now that movie made me start to go on this journey of going on, and I'm excited to see it again because I feel like I'm going to pick up on this Texas Chainsaw scene.
Oh my god,
that's I'm sure when
you can see the DNA of like
so many movies.
all the slasher movies made after it. In this, this is like
actually, I was about to say the two films that the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre I feel kind of isn't a pedigree of, even though it's from the 70s. Speaking of 80s movies, Angst, which is an Austrian horror movie, and Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Oh yeah,
I've heard of that.
Wasn't that Rooker in that? Michael Rooker?
No, but
who am I thinking of?
But both those two movies are very similar to the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They're very naturalistic, they're very matter of fact, and they're deeply unsettling.
I will say, I think of all the slasher movies I've seen,
it is Michael Rooker.
Hey, look at me!
Oh, actually, you're right. Okay, never.
Look at me! Look at my recall. No, I think of all the slasher movies I've seen, I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre might be my favorite because it really does. It's because that's my problem with slasher movies is like I don't care about these characters.
Same.
And I don't feel like I'm supposed to, but like the movie's insisting that I should, and it's just like are you wasting my time?
Like no, just
like
to
they
the
just make them people. I care about them either way because I'm not a sociopath.
My partner, slasher horror is like their guilty pleasure, and we will sometimes watch it, and I'm usually the cynic that just like get to the point.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I'll if you make your characters believable, I will care about them. That's it.
I don't care about the jock. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't need your tropes. I don't care what their like
flirty girl.
Yeah, I don't need all their like complex interpersonal relationships. I just need to know like, all right, that's her brother. They're dating. Okay, copy that. Let's go.
When it comes down to it, I feel like a lot of the infinite universe of slasher sequels comes down to just how creative can you get with the kills?
Kind
of. That's what
of.
it boils down to, yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
That's like it's gonna come up either way, but Terrifier is like, that movie. Those movies have the most creative and fucked up kills, and yet they have the most boring like interpersonal stories of any horror movie I've ever seen. They're so it's crazy because it's like you can tell the filmmakers had like we want to make the most insane like extreme slasher movie you've ever seen, but also we don't really have a vision for like who the characters are and like what it's like, but we are still going to insist that they be half the runtime of them talking in rooms.
Right, and like no, I don't need to humanize these victims. These aren't people,
Yeah, Art the Clown is the protagonist. Let's be fair. Let's be
real.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's why those movies missed the mark for me.
I'm just looking up what is Terrifier on Shudder.
I watched it on Amazon.
Okay. Here's the thing. I don't know what it is about it too because it seems like it'd be up my alley. Something about it has just made me not want to see it. But we've been talking.
You said you don't like his character design, right?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
He's not. This is gonna sound stupid.
I think it works in practice.
This might sound stupid, but he's just not cute.
He's funny.
Like I know he's funny, but like sometimes like I think I need. Here's the thing.
I'm a big fan of like that like super stark like super white super black like I don't there's something about that I think that I really like.
I think what I need from my slashers is I need either a hair of sympathy, like Michael Myers and Jason. Jason is just a dumb kid who was bullied,
right? A kid that was bullied, and
Michael's interesting.
Michael is in a similar. He's a traumatized kid.
He's just like the pit of evil.
Yeah.
Like he's American Psycho, but he's not interested in fitting in.
Well, honestly, the thing that for me that's a
hollow person. So
far, what works for me the best about Halloween isn't actually Michael Myers itself, but it's I just watched Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, and Donald Pleasance, who's Dr. Loomis, is kind of like he is the one that kind of he's talking the whole time. He's the guy who like. People are like, oh, Michael Myers is just a dude. And he's the one who's like, no,
textualize him.
He's the one who's like, no, he's the embodiment of hell. And shit, he's not human. And like he's the one who externally gives Michael. And I feel like I know he's got the actor at some point is not going to be in the movies anymore.
Yeah.
And I know I'm going to like it infinitely less because he's my favorite part of the movie so far.
Yeah. I like I don't know. I think I like Michael because and also like this Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think I'm interested in just how like evil and depraved humanity can be because
well,
like
I think I was talking to you, LC, after we saw the first movie, is that when you think about it, like Leatherface is kind of a strangely sympathetic character.
Yeah,
he
is.
does
Absolutely.
horrible fucking things.
yeah, but he's clearly like
He's mentally disabled.
yeah.
He has to kind of play these different roles in the family structure.
Yeah, he clearly wouldn't be doing this stuff if it weren't for his family just telling him to.
Yeah,
and not
he's-
only that, like these are people due to the deindustrialization of this part of rural Texas.
Yep.
They're now dealing with extreme poverty. How do we survive?
Yeah,
How
I
do
feel
we-
like that poverty is like a massive part of this of
the
like
first one.
yeah, it's like the Ed Gein thing where they're like making furniture and shit out of human bodies, and it's like that's just something I can
or
see
the fact
rednecks
that,
doing.
that Leatherface puts on this like wig and
Yeah.
mother kind of like
Yeah.
attire where he's trying to
Yeah.
play this mother.
I can
homemaker
see,
circuit.
yeah, I can see like super isolated people who live together in like this like super repressed part of the country. I could see that happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely. It totally makes sense for the
And
psychology.
the older brother, look what you did! Let your
Yeah.
brother out.
They all feel
Yeah.
like just because folie à deux. Like you get crazy people together and they just make each other crazier,
Mhm.
and they kind of form their own reality. And that to me is what's interesting about this
right,
concept.
and it's like this tier of like, okay, even though Leatherface is this big hulking menace, he's
yeah,
kind of childlike. And
Yeah.
he's- even that at a certain point after he kills some of the first characters, he's panicking. He's like, oh my god, what do I do? What do I
Yeah.
do? What do I do?
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
No, like that definitely does help.
Yeah, Leatherface himself, I don't think is like I wouldn't put him alongside like Jason and Michael.
Yeah, very different kind of character.
Yeah.
It's almost tragically too human.
Yeah, exactly. He's more
Yeah.
like a tool being used by the actual evil in his
Yeah.
family.
I'm sure down the line though, like in the later films, he just becomes another.
Yeah.
He becomes a Mortal Kombat
yeah.
character.
Oh, that's exactly what
When he's
happens.
in Mortal
unfortunately.
Kombat.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
Mortal
he's
Kombat
literally in Mortal Kombat.
11. Mortal Kombat 11.
with
Actually,
Jason and
the actor Gunnar Hansen, who played Leatherface, he was in this other B movie called Mosquito, where he plays like an escaped convict, and much like the name implies, there's mosquitoes, big killer mosquitoes.
cool.
And there's a scene where he pulls out a chainsaw and literally, Gunnar Hansen has a chainsaw. Something's gonna die.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Leatherface is coming out again. But yeah, so with the movie specifically, I'm trying to think as far as the really the only scenes remaining to talk to is like I want to say I think the scene, the moment that got under my skin the most in this movie is when Grandpa was sucking on the finger. they have the final girl hostage.
Drink
They
the
cut her
blood.
finger.
The dinner scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That whole dinner scene's really good.
Not just that, but he's drinking the finger and then he starts like dancing.
Yeah, he does like a little jig.
it's
He's
like-
loving it.
It's so disturbing.
He's doing
He's
his
a
yummy
killer.
dance. He's doing his
Yeah.
yummy
He's
dance
the
like they do on
best.
TikTok.
Yeah, and then the whole dinner sequence is just like so fucked up because
You're tied to a chair, and yeah, you're in this house of these three people that you know are just insane and violent, and you don't know what they're gonna do to you, and what they do is worse than you thought.
Right.
Yeah,
and
like-
this half-dead man is sucking on your finger.
Yeah, yeah. And then they give him a sledgehammer to kill her, and he drops it like 10 times, and he
Yeah.
just cannot do it, and it's so tense because it's like how is this gonna end?
And they all revert to being like overexcited children. They're like, "Yay, Grandpa!
Yeah.
Grandpa!"
Yeah, no, it's great.
Yeah, really just disturbing shit.
It's just it's that horror of just being in a traumatic situation, and that's literally like it's just so singular in its focus. I love a movie that isn't afraid to just be one thing. Like it's just like just put yourself in this horrific situation. That to me is my favorite kind of horror. Is just
that's why I made a comparison to Angst and Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer. They're both of those movies, like Texas Chainsaw, they're claustrophobic, naturalistic, and they're singular.
Yeah, it's great. I love the focus.
There's no escape. It's just kind of like you're stuck.
Yeah.
No, it's a great time for sure. But yeah, no, let's see, the last bit of this movie, she ends up getting away just because in their manic craziness, like one of them just like has a loose grip on her and she slips away.
And she finds the one black guy in the movie.
Yep. Oh yeah.
He's a hero.
The one black guy in the movie, she chases down a truck. And he tries to help. I forget if he ends up getting killed by Leatherface.
No, he's just kind of like, I gotta get
He's
the
like,
fuck
what
out
the
of
fuck?
Right.
Get out of here.
And
she's in the back of the truck. She's screaming like half of this movie.
Yeah, no, and
it's completely understandable.
The last 30 minutes of this movie is half of the sound mix is her screaming, and it's just at the same volume the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's like a manic. And
it's like, I get it. Yeah.
It's like a manic. Definitely a different vibe than the scream at the end of the second one.
The terror the whole time, and it's realistic terror.
Exactly.
And you can see her get traumatized. And who is that actress? She does such a good job of just being like selling that
Marilyn Burns.
Marilyn Burns, right?
That real feeling of just terror the whole time.
The end, again, most horror movies like slashers, where the final girl or final survivor, they're triumphant. They say a quip.
No, she's like crouched down almost in a fetal position in the truck, looking back like with these wide eyes, just covered in blood.
Yeah,
She's
screaming. And Leatherface
broken, mentally, emotionally.
Leatherface is like twirling around. So my favorite shot
with the sun in the background.
I had already seen my favorite shot in this movie before because it had been posted.
But yeah, the scene of
the
Marilyn
sunset
Burns in the flatbed just gone. That also lives rent free in my head.
I think I'm gonna make that my desktop wallpaper.
The sunset in the background. He's like swinging it around. He's doing like a little twirly dance. Who knows what's fucking going on in his head? He's just like, he's either like in a state of euphoria or like scared, or I don't even know, man.
Yeah, he's just like letting
it's
his
so
column
good.
A, column B.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
I fucking love this movie. I gotta say.
Yeah,
I'm so glad we watched it.
It's really great. Like I
I
said,
had never seen it.
I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd. I was watching behind the scenes stuff on the Blu-ray today. Like, yeah, it's definitely one. I'm looking forward to rewatching it because it's I just didn't expect it to be like that at all.
It's great.
It is great.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things where I just need to mature on it because it's like Alien to Aliens. I used to be an Aliens boy, but now as I've matured,
your attention span has grown.
My attention span has grown, and my appreciation for subtlety and details has increased.
Yeah.
But
I love this movie.
Another fun fact about this movie, according to Wikipedia, the reported budget is anywhere between $80,000 to $140,000.
Holy shit! Really?
So, yeah, hella small budget.
I guess that makes sense. It does seem very small.
Yeah.
Which is perfect.
Fun fact: the movie we're going to talk about in the next episode, El Mariachi in the Mexico trilogy.
Yeah.
$7,000. That first movie.
Hey,
Nice.
if you know how to use the budget well, even if it's that minuscule.
But yeah, so this first movie, I guess we can save the. Actually, let's do we'll do the prop question at the end after we talk about the second movie.
Okay.
So yeah, no, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1, great. So 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
12 years later.
Let's go from the 70s to the 80s.
And it's 80s is fucking hell.
And you can see it on screen.
Yeah, I need to get the Wikipedia page up.
Sledgehammering you over the head.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah,
Same director, Toby Hooper, right?
Yep. Same director, 12 years later.
You would not be able to tell if you didn't read his name in the credits.
Yeah. So, Rian, what'd you say was the backstory to like why he made this movie and like why it is how it is?
Well, I mean, let's see. Even though Hooper had a lot of success with Poltergeist, which Steven Spielberg produced, and Cannon Films, which is known for a lot of 80s schlock.
I didn't even know he made Poltergeist. I fucking love Poltergeist.
People are thinking, oh, Toby Hooper can direct a lot of,
He's great.
Right.
I never made the connection he made Poltergeist. That's one of my favorite 80s movies.
And then shortly after Poltergeist, Cannon Films were like, okay, you're a hot shot. You got a 3-movie deal with us. So he made Life Force, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and the remake of Invaders from Mars, which is a 50s B movie. Then the thing with Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 was Hooper was sick and tired of critics saying that the first movie was just basically this mindless bloodbath. It was just, there was no substance, no depth, nothing about it. It was just gore for the sake of gore. And Hooper was like, you want gore? You want mindless violence? Okay.
To a goofy degree.
Oh, man.
Evil Dead came out. Like, we'll take a card out of Sam Raimi's book.
Oh my God, dude.
But yeah, no. So this movie, I guess, before we break into the plot of it specifically, I mean, we just finished watching it. I guess so. Immediately, we can just kind of compare the two. So Joseph, you prefer the first?
Oh, big time.
Big time.
Same.
Big time.
Yeah.
Not even close.
I think the first one's definitely a better movie. It's tough for me to say.
I could see you liking the second one better.
Well, you see, it's not a blanket statement of just liking goofy stuff, but I think this is one I might rewatch more.
Yeah.
Like, as far as, like...
No, I'd rewatch the first one more.
How do I put it? Like, this one... Part 2 is the one where, like, if I'm having a Halloween party in the future...
Oh, my God.
And I want to, like, put on, like, a goofy movie to end off the night, like, with everyone is, like, drunk and high. I'd put on the
It's
second
an
one.
extremely Halloween movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It feels like you're going with your friends to a haunted house.
Yeah. It's a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
In the sense that, like, and like I said, I'm going to keep making this comparison because it's just something about, like, it's aliens. It's since, like, so today, like, I was in here doing some stuff. I had aliens on in the background while I was doing stuff because, like, it's just the first movie was this, like, deep existential look into, like, the underbelly of America in the 70s and looking at, like, poverty and looking at, just all these things. And this movie is just
They're small business owners.
It's a
Right.
it's a hoedown theme park
It's
ride.
totally Reagan 80s.
We no longer go to an old dilapidated house, a poverty-stricken house in the country in Texas.
No.
Now we're in a
Haunted
fun house
carnival.
roller
Right,
coaster.
a former theme park that these
Yeah.
guys have converted.
The Joker's lair.
Yeah, that's where we spend like probably over half the movie, right?
Yeah, pretty much like half at the halfway point.
Yeah.
We're there for the whole time. But so bringing into the how it's so the movie starts off with we're following Buzz and Rick, who are Wikipedia says they're 2 high school seniors, who are driving through a long stretch of Texas highway to a Texas OU football game.
And already we can see the crazy stylistic change
Big time.
It starts-
just in their wardrobe
Just
alone.
Their wardrobe, the goofy sunglasses, they're shooting mailboxes.
They're wearing
and, like,
these
signs.
big bright colors. The cars and the big bright color. Music's playing. Like
and you
it's,
can tell it's the 80s and they come from some money because their car has a car phone.
Yeah, they've got a
Exactly.
car phone. He's wearing like a weird like captain blazer, like he's going to a country club.
No, it's very much we've shifted into high octane, high gear.
Yep.
And they're listening to the radio. They're listening to and they're calling into radio. Wikipedia doesn't say the name of the radio station, but they're calling into a local radio station.
It doesn't matter.
Where DJ Vanita Stretch Brock
Stretch
in this movie, played by what's her name? Played by Caroline Williams, is doing her show.
One of the 3 good characters in this movie.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's a small cast in this movie.
It is a pretty small cast, and she's a good protagonist. She is like, I would say she is very much the lead of this movie.
Yeah.
But basically they're harassing her, like keep on calling her in, and while they're doing this, they decide to play chicken with a big scary looking truck.
Yep.
And immediately all of us watching it were just like, shouldn't have
I
fucked
was like,
around.
I've seen Duel.
Shouldn't have fucked around.
This isn't going to end well.
Nope. We've got a big American flag on the back.
Yeah. The truck follows them on the longest bridge in the world.
Yeah, they're on that bridge for a long time.
Yeah.
I just see them like driving across that bridge like 10 times and just cutting it all together as one bridge.
Probably.
Yeah.
And yeah, the truck is driving up next to them backwards, and
while they're on a radio, while they're on a call with the radio.
Well, they're on a call with the radios, and this is being
So it's
recorded. And Stretch is hearing this the whole time, and there's a corpse with a chainsaw that's like standing above the car, and it's a big, good, and immediately
It's like, what the fuck? This is the same. This is a sequel to Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, no, it's just a whole over the top, different tone.
Yeah, it's not bad though. It's it's extremely. It's like 80s maximalism.
Yeah, no, it's
like from that like 70s art house like Hollywood revival to Reagan era like 80s like big everything money.
Yeah.
Coke, everything.
Yeah, no, and you can tell they had a much bigger. But oh wow, that's actually kind of impressive. Reported budget 4.5 to 4.6 million.
Damn.
On here, which I mean that's pretty impressive.
That's horror movie. Yeah.
It's definitely elevated from the first.
It is pretty impressive. I mean, as far as like, I guess the only locations really are like side of the road, the radio station, which the radio station was the radio station, and then their hideout.
Yeah.
Really. So it's like you just had to make those
and the
three.
Chili cook-off.
And the chili cook-off, yeah.
They were really efficient because they got a lot done in that scene.
Yeah.
The chili cook-off.
Exactly. But no, I mean, what was I going to say? Yeah, no, like for me, it's like overall, I don't know, how do I put it? Like this is just a very well done B horror movie as far as like, as far as like, it is.
As far as Tobe Hooper himself making like an 80s slasher movie, he did a good job.
Yeah. And
it's a very spooky Halloween movie. It's got a lot of style and a lot of flash.
Yeah. I think we can just skip to basically, so they run off the road and these guys are killed and the dude's head gets cut off while he's driving.
Yeah, the top of his head.
And he keeps the car perfectly straight somehow while this is all going down. But most importantly, we cut to the next morning.
Dennis Hopper.
And Dennis Hopper rolls up. It's the scene of the crime. The car is run off the road and Dennis Hopper is there. Lefty
and Stretch. These are our two protagonists.
Yeah.
Quirky names.
It's Texas.
He's got a big old cowboy hat.
The biggest. Doug Dimmadome is what you said.
Doug Dimmadome. Owner of I said that this is a prequel to his character, and he loses his mind, and he becomes a terrorist in Speed.
He becomes the Speed guy.
Madman. Howard Payne. But yeah, no. So he's the uncle of Franklin and Sally from the first movie, right?
Yeah.
That's the relation.
He's their uncle.
Yeah, and he's been hunting the Sawyer family for years.
Yeah,
that is what we're told in the movie.
And like the town has been kind of sweeping all these like disappearances under the rug, apparently, because for like tourism purposes or something.
Much.
Because they get like a lot of people coming in to watch the football games and shit.
Yeah, I feel like the first half of this movie, or the first third, I should say, is almost set up kind of like a crime, like a horror crime
procedural,
a little bit. Like I was getting shades of like I was thinking about Maxine.
It's kind of it's almost it seems like that, and then like it's kind of paper thin because it's he does one tactic and it's to get Stretch to play the murder tape on the air to draw in the family to come to kill her,
which it does,
and that's his whole thing, and it works. And then he's like, "I used you, darling," or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, he should have been there to protect her.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
spoilers.
Once the Sawyer family shows up, it just kind of becomes the freak show.
It turns super wacky, super quick.
We're introduced to a new character in this movie, Chop Top.
Yep.
Chop.
Is this the same actor who plays the hitchhiker in the first one?
I think it's a different guy.
That's weird because when you cast someone to be his identical twin brother,
right?
It's a different character. I'm the identical twin brother of the guy from the first one, but I got a different wacky personality. He's a Vietnam vet.
I'm just looking at Drayton,
which says something, I guess.
The character in the first movie is named Nubbins.
Nubbins
Sawyer.
I didn't catch that.
The hitchhiker. I don't know if they say it in the movie, maybe credited as such. But yeah, twin brother deceased. It says on Wikipedia. And they don't say it in the movie, but I mean, I guess they do pretty much. He's a Vietnam vet.
Yeah.
Which that's kind of. I feel like that's kind
of a big metal plate in his head.
He's got a big metal
plate. He picks at all the time.
With a
wire hanger that he heats with his lighter.
Yeah. Just a lot of really
okay. He's honestly more of a clown than anything in this whole movie.
Yeah, he's the Joker. He's the one that's
the funny one.
He's the most zany one. I swear to God, I remember when I saw this movie for the first time, I said, fucking Gendy Tartakovsky designed the Gangrene Gang from Powerpuff Girls off this one motherfucker because he looks exactly like it's the same kind of personality.
I always saw those guys as all that one guy from Gorillaz, just different variants of him.
All
Well, I
Murdoch
think
from the Girls.
the big thing that kind of clued in, he's a Vietnam vet when, he goes to the radio station and he's kind of taunting and terrorizing Stretch.
He's wearing a Sonny Bono
And he's
wig.
demanding that she play Inagata Davida by Iron Butterfly. And
He
it's
says Inavita Degata,
like,
though.
Inavita Degata.
Yeah.
And she's kind of like, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What are you doing here, sir?
He's just being creepy and scary.
Right.
Yeah, it's a whole scene of him just like going nuts on her, and it is almost like kind of in a weird way. This is almost a really loose remake of the first.
It's definitely similar, like conceptually.
It follows the same beats. Like this is the equivalent of our hitchhiker scene,
where we like focus
Right.
mostly on one girl getting tormented and tortured.
Kind of like the first or the second
Yeah.
Evil Dead movie. Where
yeah. It's like a loose remake.
Yeah, but no, the tension builds in this scene, and he just gets progressively more and more scary and threatening, and then bam, Leatherface.
Leatherface pulls in, and
with his chainsaw high above his head. It's like so big and like it's such a spectacle. Everything in this movie is just turned up to 11.
exactly, like everything is just cocaine fueled, just like high octane shit.
I do like Leatherface's fit though. He's got the black suit and the black gloves. He kind of looks like he looks like he's like one of the Reservoir Dogs or something.
Yeah, no, he's on a night for the town.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So Leatherface pursues Stretch. Thankfully, they have like a giant metal door in the radio station that she can hide behind.
Which is lucky, yeah.
Very lucky.
And then he just busts through the wall like Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah. And he stops because he's got a crush on her.
He does.
Pretty much. And
That's the only thing that keeps her alive through the whole movie.
And in what is a scene where he's like rubbing his chainsaw on her leg. And it's very erotic scene.
Well, yeah, it goes up further than just her leg.
Yeah, I was about to say,
And you said, like I said, I haven't seen the Terrifier movies, but you said that.
Well, yeah, there's a, it's not spoilers.
Well, let's
not
not
spoil.
spoil
We'll
it.
save that for the Terrifier episode.
Yeah, don't worry. There is a connection to Terrifier 3.
But yeah,
Oh yeah.
Leatherface comes and pretty much lies to Chop Top, saying like,
He literally does come.
literally.
Yeah, I don't want to gloss that over. He comes on camera.
Yeah, right onto the camera, onto the lens.
Bull.
It's anamorphic, so it looks crazy.
Yeah.
But
it's on your face.
yeah. But basically, yeah, he lies to Chop Top. Chop Top's like, kill her. And fucking Leatherface. Oh yeah, I do. Like he spares her.
And they kill. Yeah, but they kill her very nice friend who we haven't mentioned.
LG,
her radio producer.
my cousin LG.
LG.
Life's good.
Yeah, life is good. Not for him.
Yeah.
Not what happens to him later.
Yeah, he
gets hit in the head with a hammer. He's presumed dead at this point in the movie.
We think he's dead at that point. And then they drag him away back to the.
Look at all that beef.
to the lair.
They won a chili competition. By the way,
skip that part.
He fed the town human meat in his chili.
Yeah, the family won the chili contest.
It's pretty funny, and it's a signature that this movie is now a comedy.
Yeah, no, it is. That scene very much is played for laughs, whereas like the older older
fed
brother.
you all people.
Yeah, and it's just nasty.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she pursues them to their lair, and they upgraded from their little house in the countryside to a crazy underground.
It's a fun house.
I just realized what it made me
There's
think
like
of.
Slides and shit.
It's the Grinch's house.
It is the Grinch's house,
from
dude.
from Jim Carrey's The Grinch.
It honestly does give a lot of vibes of Ron Howard's The Grinch, dude. That's crazy. That must be what I was thinking of. It's like that mixed with like Beetlejuice.
Yeah, no, I felt a lot of Beetlejuice energy from, not just from the look, but also from
As you can tell, it's a big departure from the first movie stylistically.
Yeah, and you said you weren't a fan of this set.
I'm not. It's just personal like sensibilities and tastes. I'm not as big of a fan of this kind of style as I am of just like the sort of I like supernaturalistic.
Well, like I was saying earlier, the other two canon movies that Hooper did, Life Force and Invaders from Mars.
Yeah.
Like, those movies have big sets, and it's a big sweeping, premise, especially Life Force. Here, it's like big set, but claustrophobic premise and setting and characters, and it's weird.
It's just like there's no real sense of like how this place is even laid out. It's just like a big weird underground maze.
Yeah.
That I don't I was like turning to everyone while I was watching. I was like, I'm trying to like wrap my head around what this fucking place even was and like is supposed to be.
It's all kind of like I liked. It's funny. I really liked it at first, and I do like the general aesthetic and the vibe of it, but I feel like we almost spent too much continuous time there.
Yeah.
Almost like if we could have had like stuff, if we could have left there earlier.
Yeah.
And had more of like the sequence, like we're outside for a little bit at the end.
Yeah.
And I feel like when we got outside a little bit at the end, I was like, oh, okay, like we're finally changing the location, and like I'm feeling some kind of diversity in what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
I feel like they should have cut some of that inside this like cavern, and given us like a bigger sequence outside, like maybe like a bigger fight outside or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we're
we skipped over my favorite line, by the way.
Oh yeah, your dog.
Lick my plate, you dog dick.
Yeah.
And he's referring to his metal plate in his head, but even if he isn't, it's still a great line.
Yeah. Great makeup on that metal plate.
Looks great. Tom Savini.
Tom Savini, yeah. I have to say.
In general, like all of the makeup and the practical effects in this movie look like pretty top notch.
Absolutely.
Like as far as like,
most of them.
And we haven't even gotten to one highlight that this movie has, at least for me.
Yeah.
Which is Dennis Hopper.
Oh my God.
Going ballistic.
Going ham.
He goes crazy for like half this movie. He just loses his mind.
Halfway through, he goes to a chainsaw store.
This is a devil's playground.
What does he say? I am the what?
My favorite line in this movie: "I am the Lord of the Harvest."
He has everything he says is like some crazy like riddle.
Yeah, he just like goes as crazy. He takes the most cocaine.
He buys
out of
like
everybody.
3 chainsaws.
Well, he goes from Texas Cop to his character Frank Booth in Blue Velvet, like real quick.
He's like, he just, I don't understand the logic of like, I need chainsaws to bring them down. It's like, just have a shotgun or something.
He has to destroy them with the weapon that killed his family.
It's such a movie idea.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's fucking nutty. But yeah, no, Dennis Hopper goes crazy. He starts destroying the lair.
He cuts
from the
open
top
a
down.
wall and a bunch of guts fall out, and then he's like, "Okay, this is a different movie. I get it."
There's different shit going on.
He's like, "This." I love that line.
I love the scene where
he's like, "I'm gonna bring it down."
When Stretch falls down the dirt tube, the hole, the tunnel, and she just keeps falling.
No, yeah,
like,
exactly. That's why I was like, what the fuck is this place? There's like 3 layers, and this was a carnival. Like, would people go underground at this like theme park?
Well, that's kind of why I was thinking to myself, like, this has got to be like the set that they used for Invaders from Mars, because it just like I think
just the set they already had.
Right, it's like we can just dress this up, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Some cobwebs, some weird candles, a corpse or two here, there.
Yeah, I can see it.
Mm-hmm. No, just
no, yeah, the set is crazy. There's like, this is apparently just where they're living, and they have like a food truck that they like sell human meat to people.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just like where
It's a
they
booming
operate
business.
their business,
Right,
their
it's
small
totally,
local business
Reagan
out of.
80s, where it's kind of like, oh, we went from
They're in
like
the money.
the poverty of the early 70s to now we're like, hey, we've monetized our cannibalism.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, they're not poor anymore.
Exactly.
They live in a giant underground complex.
They're living
filled with string lights and chandeliers.
They're living at large.
Yeah.
And Grandpa's 137 now.
He's still alive.
I want to make sure we don't forget to talk about the scene where
the face.
The face scene where basically the LG was it Stretch is hiding around the corner and Leatherface is
carving him up like a Christmas ham.
Carving him up, skinning him.
Yeah.
Put some
with like a little like mechanical knife that you use.
With like a little like saw knife.
And he's frustrated doing it.
Yeah.
He's frustrated. He hears Stretch. He goes over and tries to hide her. And he tries to hide her by putting LG, her friend's face, over her face,
and his hat on her,
and his hat on her, and he ties her up. And it turns out that LG's alive.
Wakes up, which is my favorite like strong directorial choice in this movie. I think
Like whole ass wakes up, stands up.
he's alive. That's so much worse.
Right.
Very
He
clearly
looks
in
at her
pain.
and she's wearing his face.
He's got huge sections of skin just removed from his
He's
body.
bleeding out and shit. He's like clearly not long for this world.
Yeah, no, it's a real.
And he tries to comfort her.
Yeah.
Right, while probably being in excruciating
Yeah.
pain.
Love it. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah, real. Yeah.
Rip to a real one. No
Real nice
guys.
guy. Life's good.
Yeah. Life's good.
She tries to escape. She ends up getting caught. I'm trying to think. We have our dinner scene where we get reintroduced to Grandpa.
Yep.
They change up Grandpa's design a lot.
Well, yeah.
I wanted to ask what you thought of the design from the first movie to the second one, specifically of Grandpa.
The first movie's makeup, I wasn't like a huge fan of, but it got the job done, and I was like, yeah, it's an old man, whatever. This one looked like a mask.
Yeah.
I wasn't a huge fan. I like Tom Savini. I think he did a lot of great work. I think that's probably the weakest point for me. That and when
same.
Leatherface gets stabbed through the stomach, I think that looks really goofy.
It did look a little rough.
Yeah,
rubbery.
I'm not I think that Grandpa's definitely more of a character in this. Like they gave him like a little bit more like personality.
Mm-hmm. He does a little bit more. There's like
He's clearly like enjoying himself.
There's really There's really creepy close-ups of like his face and eyes and mouth when he's starting to like kind of get it up to hit her with the hammer.
Yeah, they do the dinner scene again, and they do the hammer scene again.
Mm-hmm. And it's not as scary.
I don't like it as much.
No, same.
It's definitely more. It's still entertaining. I just don't like it as much.
Right.
It feels very kind of like stage play. Or
Yeah.
Like
Well, it's this. I think it's the set.
Yeah.
I think it's just like, where the fuck am I? This feels
Right,
like I'm
yeah.
out like at a
Right,
Halloween.
the first one, there's that genuine sense of claustrophobia.
Big spirit Halloween energy.
Right. No, actually, the second movie with that whole bit with the dinner scene and oh, Grandpa's gonna take her out. It's like, am I watching an '80s music video?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, you do play as Leatherface.
Oh wow. I think another part of it too.
Is
Is
like, huh? What am I doing?
a lot of this scene is shot in wides.
Right.
Yeah.
Versus like I feel like the first movie there was a lot more kind of like close-ups on her face reacting and
Yeah.
like on kind of Grandpa's face trying to do and it's just not as just not as effective horror.
No.
And then
No, it's way more of a popcorn movie.
Right. It's splat stick. It's not horror.
Yeah, exactly.
and then Dennis Hopper fucking rolls in.
With his chainsaws.
Fucking Lord of the Harvest over here.
I'm Lord of the Harvest.
They exchange a little dialogue. The older brother tries to bribe Dennis Hopper.
This
to
movie.
no avail.
This is where the movie it had already jumped the shark, but this is where it jumps like 3 more sharks for
Yeah.
me. Is when Dennis Hopper is having a chainsaw duel with Leatherface.
A chainsaw sword battle.
Yeah,
with Leatherface.
what is like? This is the second movie. Save this for like the
Right. I mean,
5th.
I'll admit, there's a guilty pleasure
Yeah,
thing about that scene.
it's entertaining.
Fast
Yeah,
and
no, absolutely. Even though it doesn't hold a candle to the first movie,
Yeah,
but
no.
I'm going to enjoy something. I might as well enjoy
Exactly.
Dennis Hopper being Dennis fucking Hopper.
He's doing a great job.
The Fast and Furious franchise at least waited till the 8th movie to go to space.
Yeah, exactly.
You
This
know.
is getting insane. Yeah,
Insane, like right away. Making up for lost time, I guess.
yeah.
But yeah, we get a chainsaw battle. It's very cool. Once again, this is like, they definitely looked at this when they made Mandy, because Mandy also has a really cool
Oh
chainsaw
yeah,
fight.
that's what it was reminding me of.
Yeah. A lot of
Yeah.
all the connections.
Yeah, the colors too.
Yeah, the colors too. They have this big chainsaw fight. The place is getting torn down. What is it?
Yeah, the guy has the what is it? What's the name of the oldest guy?
The oldest
Not the oldest guy, the oldest brother.
the oldest brother.
He's actually
I
like
think
the
he's
main brains behind the operation.
Yeah. I think he's called Chef. But
Oh, well yeah, in the first
The
one he's
cook.
like he's just a cook.
He's
The
just
cook.
a cook.
Yeah.
yeah, the character's name is Drayton Stoyer, aka the cook.
Yeah.
Drayton, okay.
Drayton.
Drayton.
Yeah, he's the one who's like telling Leatherface not to get a girlfriend and like but he's under the floorboards during this battle where Dennis Hopper and Leatherface are having
because he
they're
got
doing
chainsawed.
Duel of the Fates episode.
yeah, he got chainsawed in the butt.
Lightsaber battle.
He
drops a grenade. Well, he got chainsawed. He says that toasted my beans good or some shit like
he said,
that.
like, took care of my hemorrhoids, my hemis.
Yeah, took care of my hem, saved me a trick to the doctor.
Yep.
It's like, this is not scary at all.
He sets off. He pulls a grenade out, ready to just take it all down.
And that's where the franchise should have ended. He blows everybody up.
Blows everyone up except for Chop Top and
Stretch.
Which there's a great shot in this end sequence, or I really enjoy where Chop Top is crawling through the tube and he's like backlit.
He's crawling like an animal. He
looks like a spider, like his big spindly limbs. Like
he is scary.
And then we go outside for a minute. He's chasing her up this like monolith,
and we see Grandma.
This
and it's like. Okay.
They've updated her design too.
Yeah.
A dead body number 50 I've seen today.
Grandma's up there, a little shrine to her.
She's holding it. That I think I mentioned that set is just does not fit in this movie at all. That set is so much cooler than every other set. That there's like this cool like set piece above Grandma in the shrine of like this sort of like skull and these two arms like reaching out to her. There's something about that I think is just so spooky.
I think that set feels the most like the first film.
Yeah.
Like aesthetic wise.
Yeah.
Like,
aside from the fact that she's holding a chainsaw. There's like 12 chainsaws in this movie.
Oh,
yeah. There aren't multicolored Christmas lights all around.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of chainsaws. She has a chainsaw that protects her in the afterlife.
Yeah.
The Stretch has a final confrontation with Chop Top.
He's cutting her. Yeah, he's cutting her up with a razor blade. He's cutting his own throat and not dying.
Yeah, no.
What does he say? That's like watching Grim Reaper eat a cracker or some shit like that.
Like watching Death eat a cracker.
What does that even mean? Whatever.
What
does that mean?
Who knows?
Just a crazy person saying nonsense to you.
And then she chainsaws him and knocks him off of this tall tower.
Yeah.
And he rolls back into the underground caves, which presumably I don't know if he comes back in one of the later movies, but like that to me read as like leaving it open ended for him coming back. And then she does her little dance, but it's not as pretty looking. She does her little chainsaw dance.
Yep.
And
then it's like, she's the one who did the Texas Chainsaw Massacre this time.
She massacred the family. And then that's the end of this second movie.
Yep. And then cut to credits abruptly like the first one did.
And upbeat 80s reggae music. I was just like, what?
It's not subtle. I feel like overall, ever since we watched the first movie the other day, there have been specific scenes and moments and ideas that I have just been like rolling around in my head.
Yeah.
And we watched this movie an hour ago, and I already feel like not that I forgot most of it, but like none of it's like
it feels a lot more
stands out.
It feels a lot more of its time.
Right, and then you think about like again the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, some of the other films that Tobe Hooper did afterwards, like Eaten Alive, Funhouse, Salem's Lot.
Oh my god, I didn't know he made Salem's Lot.
The original, yeah.
My god, this guy's just been in my life and I didn't even know.
Then he does Poltergeist.
Oh my god.
The real Tobe Hooper.
I fucking love Poltergeist.
Was inside you all along.
Yeah. It was the friends we made along the way.
It's weird, like, especially after seeing Life Force, again, one of my favorite movies, and then you see the second Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it's like,
Do you think it was just... Because the more we're talking about, the more it sounds like it's almost like it was just a check.
Yeah.
Like the first one was like he had a real vision and he made it, and the second one was like...
Right, because again, canon...
Yeah, I'll make two. Fuck it.
Sure.
I'll make an 80s movie. Fuck it.
We'll fuck it up. Yeah, because that's another thing, too, an interesting point.
I'll have fun, but, you know...
We haven't really brought up yet, is that between...
Don't really have anything to say, but if you're paying me...
Right.
Yeah.
Between the first film and the second, like... Every slasher had come out, multiple sequels of Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, all of them.
Yeah.
And Evil Dead had like...
And this is clearly influenced by those.
Yeah, this is very clearly like, all y'all, I'm going to show you how these are done.
Yeah.
Type deal, you know? And
I'll
like,
make my own now.
I'll make my own crazy fucking slasher.
It's like what we said. It's like, it's the two ends of the horror spectrum.
Yeah.
of a genuinely tense, terrifying movie and a fun popcorn splat stick movie.
Yeah, definitely.
And directed by the same guy, and that's just mind blowing.
Yeah,
me.
no, it absolutely is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, for sure. The 2 is going to be the one that I put on at the big Halloween party, but one is going to be the one that I'm going to screen.
Yeah.
for you know what I mean? Like you have to. This is a film.
Yeah, I am gonna watch one again.
Yeah, film movie.
Yes.
Right.
Definitely.
That's a great way of
It's
describing
extremely movie. Yeah.
The dividing lines. So now, props.
Props to you.
You get you get to choose a prop from each movie.
Okay.
What do you want?
I want the guy from the opening shot of one.
Just the corpse.
The corpse posed in a weird way.
Okay.
I want him like on my lawn.
That might send a weird message, but
It's the right message. Stay away. That's the message I want. And for 2, I want that centerpiece above Grandma,
cool.
and I want that above my bed.
Just bones and skeletons.
Yeah.
Rian, what props would you want from?
I mean, what am I picking from here? Look at these movies.
Right. From numero uno, it's got to be something from the trophy room. But if I had to choose from something, it'd be the cage the chicken was in.
Yeah.
Just because it's just so low key but macabre.
Yeah, like you mentioned, that chicken just clucking that whole time is
Just
fucking. It
unsettling.
adds so much.
And then number 2, I'm trying to think. Probably one of the fucked up candelabras in the underground lair.
Yeah, that's pretty good. They have a lot of fun lighting fixtures under there.
Oh yeah, that's why I was thinking. Like, well,
A lot of fun lighting fixtures in the first one too. They're just made of human faces.
Yeah, like that one.
Oh yeah, the main face lamp. The
Yeah.
first one.
Lamp.
That face. Oh, I'm taking that face lamp. Actually, I think.
Damn.
About
Okay.
Okay, might as well, you know.
Yeah.
Because
It's all yours, man.
I was originally gonna say I want the crazy camera from the first one, but it's just any kind.
That's a camera. You can just get a camera.
Exactly. Oftentimes when we do the props, I think like, oh, I want like so and so's. Like I want Blade sunglasses. Then I'm like, well, they're just sunglasses.
Yeah.
You can get them anywhere.
But
right?
no, the face
I
lamp.
don't see a lot of faces laying around in here.
Face lamp. We'll take the face lamp from the first one, and then the second one. There was the goofy glasses from the beginning, but honestly, now I'm thinking about it, I really liked Chop Top's Converse. He had these like cool,
I
like
didn't even
punk
see.
Converse with like patches on them and shit. Like I always thought they were cool.
His Nomvet Converse.
Yeah, his Nomvet Converse. Just his whole fit, his whole vibe.
Yeah. Just crazy.
Oh, it's Grandpa.
Psycho. Yeah. Look, it's Black Ops guy.
Black Ops
in an
6.
ad.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's what I want. Yeah, folks. This has been Midnight Movie Gang. It's currently 9:04 p.m. Night Movie Gang. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thanks, guys.
Joseph and Rian, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so folks, let us know what you thought of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You can follow Midnight Movie Gang on Instagram at Midnight Movie Gang. Same thing on TikTok at Midnight Movie Gang. On YouTube, we're at Midnight Movie Gang Podcast. Go subscribe to the YouTube. It's kind of the main home of stuff. There's more
Big stuff brewing over there.
I just uploaded. You can watch at home a highlight reel from our Alien vs Predator Requiem.
Check out how funny we are.
Commentary.
Listen to me complain about not being able to see the screen.
It is really funny.
I do that a lot.
And I'm gonna upload more of those. I'm working on the Cowboys and Aliens one now. That one's a fun one. So just stay tuned and thank you for listening. Have a nice night. Goodbye.
Love you. Bye.
So, here we go. With childish frustrations and complexes, the police are searching for James Hunt, believed to be the lover of Miss Williams, and her partner in the horrible murder of Walter Grant. Everybody that I hear them all go. Oh, please tell me where they're going. Please tell me. Sorry, I don't know. How hopeless have I got in here? 3 tickets to Albany on 6 o'clock train tonight. What do you think? Special agent. Special agent.